Hey y'all, welcome to the Honesty Circle, the safe space for heart to heart conversations rooted in faith, discussing mental health, navigating adulthood, and all the things in between. It's your host, Sierra Elise, and I hope you're taking care of not only your mental and spiritual, but your emotional and physical health so you can be your best self this week. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Honesty Circle. It's your host, Sierra Elise. How are you guys doing? Oh my gosh, y'all don't understand how excited I am to be back on the mic. It was really nice to take a break, but was it really a break? We'll chat about that later in the episode. But man, it's so great to be back, but it also was really nice to just recoup, kind of just rework some things. As you can see, we have a new look. We have a new intro. We have new music. We're just in a new, but it's still the same good quality. It's still, we're rooted in faith. We are discussing mental health. We are navigating adulthood. All of the things are still happening. So nothing on that side is changing. We are just, it's a new look. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm super excited just to be back. Like I said, so much has happened. Oh my gosh, y'all. So much has happened in this time off. And I can't wait to talk about it. So let's just go ahead and talk about the episode. So we're just gonna hit on all little things that happen along the time in which I've been away. Okay, it's been how many months at this point? It's September. I stopped episodes in, I think, what was it? May. I think it was May. I don't know how many months that is, but you can do the math. But anyways, let's get to it. Okay, so what I've been up to. So first, y'all, I was traveling so much. I went to NOLA, I went to Vegas, I went to DC, I went to Houston, I went to Destin. I went to so many places. And I think what also made those fun, all those trips fun, like 2 of them were work trips. The rest of them were just with friends. And oh my gosh, there's not a single trip up here where I didn't have a good time. Every single trip was a banger. Every single trip was so much fun. And I think a part that I enjoyed about traveling this year just felt a little bit different, just because I was really trying to experience the city. I think sometimes when you just go to have some fun. You don't really think about, or I personally didn't always think about, okay, what good food is here? I did think about food before, but like, I don't know, it's just being very more intentional in how I'm spending my time. Like I went to an NBA Summer League game. For DC, I went to Cinco de Mayo, so I was able to celebrate that with my friends. In Houston, that was a reunion with my friends, so that was different. But then Destin, it was just every trip gave a different vibe, but every trip was like what I needed in that time at the same time. So it was amazing. Did a lot of traveling, as I said. Obviously, all those trips were with friends, but I also did a lot of hanging out with my friends too, in just general, because it's summertime. Duh. So like midweek hangs, we're doing nothing hangs. I was in a wedding. Yes, I was in a wedding. So I had her on the podcast before, and she's gonna be back. Annie, I was in her wedding. She was my coworker. But we're like actually friends now. So every time I don't even like to refer to her as a coworker, because 1, we're not coworkers anymore, but 2, like we're actually friends. Like I was literally in her wedding, but her wedding was so beautiful. I think one thing because I went to 2 weddings in this time, and one thing I really enjoyed about it, it's not just like I love love. I love love all the way through and through. But I think what really like got me the most about these, it's like when you're watching your friend, like both of them were like women, like close girlfriends, you're watching them like get into a partnership, into a union with like their person and with their like, someone that loves them genuinely, like who they are for all those things. And when I tell you that, it's just so beautiful to me just to be able to witness people's love. Like, oh my gosh, 10 out of 10, 10s across the board. Love, love, love. I also was spending less time on my phone. It's definitely ramped back up with like kind of the endeavors I've been up to lately as well, which we'll also hit on that. So it definitely has ramped up, but I think I've been really good at trying to monitor and then just spend my time more wisely. I think that's another thing that I'm doing since I did start grad school. So that's obviously something that started. Hi, welcome. If you are watching, my co-host is here, just to, do his thing. So, but anyways, so yeah, so I started grad school, and I think like starting grad school, I think that made me think about how I'm going to utilize my time. And so I really cut out a lot of things. Number one being TV. Y'all, I am a TV girl. Like I used to come home from work and I'm turning the TV straight on, right? Like there was no playing around when it came to the TV. I'm binging everything before people can even get through half the season. I'm done with it, right? But since I've been shifting my time, I definitely haven't watched as much TV, so I'm definitely behind on like a lot of different shows that I watch. But I mean, I'm catching up, so it's gonna be what's gonna be. It's just this time in life is really busy, but in a good way. So other new things. So I also kind of figured out what I want to do kind of career-wise, not fully career-wise, but just like some interest. I think with the rebrand, I was able to really lean into my creative side. And that's something that I didn't really utilize like at my current job, like working in higher education. I don't necessarily always use creativity. And so being able to tap into that some more has been really, oh my gosh, really fulfilling. I've taught myself Adobe Illustrator. I taught myself Adobe Photoshop a little bit. I taught myself Adobe After Effects. So that's how I've been spending my time. I also started an apprenticeship. I work basically as a content / social media manager kind of person. And it's been really nice. I've learned so much in that process. I'm still in it. I think I'm over a month in at this point. So that's good, really good. And with grad school, like I said, I started in June. I'm slotted to hopefully finish by May 2025. So that's going to be exciting. It's going to be Sierra Davis, MBA, the big one, not the little. So that's going to be super fun. So those are like more like the things that have been new. Zeke turned 2. So I have a toddler, a terrible 2. He actually has been not the best lately, and not the best, but he's been switching up, and I'm like, whoa, what are we doing here? So that's been fun. But also a big part of this time off, you guys know, like kind of what was happening before I was going through a breakup. So, I mean, I think that's part of the reason why this summer was the way that it was. Like, it was just really me focusing my energy on myself. Like in such like the best way possible, and not in one of those ways where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so hyper focused on me. Like it was like I was focused on me, but then also like leaning in and really connecting with my friends. And I obviously in this process, like I said, I kind of figured out what I wanted to do. I want to go into like more like marketing kind of. We're still figuring that area out. I really figured out like who I want to be as a person. Like I want to also be I know I say this in the beginning all the time, like being your best self. Like, how can I be my best self? And that's something that I really did a lot of thinking about too, and really action steps of like, okay, who do I want to be in the future, and how am I gonna get there? Because I think for a while, since I didn't really know what I wanted with my future, I think it was hard sometimes to fully like, I guess, like put a title on, not a title like as in like, not title, but put words on like who I want to be. And I think that I've just figured that out, right? Like I want to be someone who is uplifting other people. I want to be someone who is encouraging other people. I want to be a person that is dependable. I want to be a person that is respectful and loving and kind. And to be able to put like words on those, like I don't necessarily think I was able to do that before, which is weird, but I wasn't. I also leaned into more of like how I want to show up in every single space of my life. Like how do I want to show up at work? How do I want to show up in my friendships? How do I want to show up with my family? How do I want to show up for myself? How do I want to show up as a dog mom? Like, cause that's important. And how do I want to show up in relationships, like romantic relationships? I think obviously when you go through a breakup, you're able to be reflective on like my own flaws, because I mean, I didn't really talk about what happened between us because it's not anything like that is a big deal. It was very like mutual. But in that too, like there's things that I know that I also have to work on before, not even before I'm ready to be with somebody else, but just I know I have to work on in general. And so like being able to show up for myself and think through these things, being in therapy and talking through these things of like healing and growing. And y'all, that frontal lobe turning 25, they joked and said like, oh, you'll feel different. No, like I actually do. I think I just don't make the, like either I was tired of my previous decisions I was making and I just decided to make a change, or my frontal lobe is actually playing a part in that. And I believe that it is my frontal lobe, because I'm just like seeing things so much more clear, like than ever in my entire life. Like oh my gosh, like it's just so clear of like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like making a decision, like I'm able to stick on it. And it's more clear of like, who are the people who are my people, who are the people who are in my corner. And like you're clear on like how, like I said, how I want to show up for myself and other people. So that's been really nice to feel that level of like clarity. Like I said, like I didn't necessarily have before. And I always thought of myself as someone who is very like introspective. Like I felt I was super self-aware. And I think that in this time too, I was able to see my own blind spots in my self-awareness. And like those are going to be future topics, but it's just been really nice to experience these things. So that's super cool. I want to also talk about where this whole rebrand came from. I want to talk kind of and give details as to what does this look about? Okay. Cause when I tell you it was so intentional, it's so intentional, when how all this came together. So why do I want to rebrand in the first place? I think my biggest thing, it really started off wanting to solely make a new logo. The HC that I had, just like the literal H and the C with the like light pink, it no longer matched my cover art. And so I felt like I needed a new one. And I also wanted to add the color blue into my colors some more, just so I can switch it up. Like y'all can see the pink. I'm a pink girl through and through. But just to add some variety, I was ready to do that. So that's where it really started. And then it went from that to then, okay, well, now I'm going to do a new logo. I might as well just do a new whole overhaul of everything. And so that's when I just decided I was going to go full in. And that's what also took so long to come back, because I was planning to come back before now, but all the pieces of the rebrand took a while. And since I was also teaching myself these things along the way, like I was teaching myself Illustrator as I was making a new logo. I was teaching myself After Effects as I'm making the intro. And it was fun. It was a challenge, but it did take extra time to get things accomplished that I think if I already knew how to do it, it wouldn't have taken me as long. So that's, like I said, that's part of the reason. So that's where it started. And so I'm going to kind of go through like what these colors mean. So obviously pink is my color. That is why I have pink. But the blue and yellow really came out, and like I wanted to pick very vibrant colors because I feel like they really connect with who I am as a person. It really connects to, I hope, the energy and the like the light and the energy that I hope that I want to bring. And I think that's a part of this too, where I was thinking about what type of person I want to be, who I want to be. And I want to be a light. I want to be a positive energy in a space. And so I wanted colors to match that. And then what the look of kind of like a diary, composition, notebook, that kind of vibe. So that really came from wanting to lean more into the authenticity of like sharing my story and having guests come up here and share their story, and just continue to be open and vulnerable. And I think when I think about times in which I've been my most open and vulnerable, it's been times when I'm writing in my diary. And not that I want to treat this like a diary, but basically, right? Like I want to be able to be more open. And not that I haven't been open in the past, but I think that I just want to lean in on that a little bit more, because I think that in sharing more of my story and how I'm feeling and things that I'm going through and being just going in deeper, I would say, digging deeper, I think I hope that it allows people to truly feel connected and knowing that they're not alone and knowing that, your thoughts are not crazy, I promise. Because I think sometimes I feel that way. Like sometimes I'm like, ugh, I'm the only one feeling these things. And then I talk to my friend and I'm like, wait, I'm not even the only person. Okay, cool. And so with anyone that feels alone or that wants to, just hear someone else's perspective, like that's kind of why I wanted to lean more into the diary, storytelling vibe. And that's where all that came from. And then like the graphics, those just connect to the topics. The heart is just, I like the heart, period. Who doesn't like a heart? Obviously the cross, talk about faith. The like the mind part is just talking about like the mental health and the growth of that. So it was all had very intentional pieces, and it took me a while. And I think one thing I also learned in this time too is being satisfied with something in myself and not looking for the approval of anybody else, but just knowing, okay, if I like it, then that's okay. And I feel that way, right? Like, and I'm saying that now, but I definitely am nervous. This is recorded obviously before the launch goes out. And will I say that I'm not nervous on now that it's coming of like, oh my gosh, what do people think, this is stupid or whatever? And it's like, it doesn't matter actually. Like I did this for me, right? Like I did this rebrand for me, and I loved it when I created it. And when I no longer love it, maybe I'll change it. But right now I love it. And I hope that you guys love it too. And if you don't, that's also okay. It's okay. Because like I said, I did this for me, and I'm just glad that I'm in this space, like just a better headspace. I think another thing, last point, I think that has helped me in this season, this summer, and in this like break of kind of producing episodes, I think I've been able to lean on God in a new way and truly allow Him to lead and allow Him to show up. Because I think at times, I mean, I said an episode on this before about how I'm controlling and how I don't let God be God sometimes. And so I think I've leaned on Him just to be Him and not like try to orchestrate, not try to figure it out. And I think the happiness and the joy and the comfort that I've been able to have in that has been truly unmatched. Because in this time, I'm working a full-time job, I'm in school, I'm working an apprenticeship, I'm doing my podcast, I'm trying to, have some freelance clients on the side for social media. With all of that, and people are always like, oh my gosh, how are you doing this? And how are you maintaining? And there's nights where I stay up super late and I wake up and I feel fine. And I just stopped leaning on my own strength. I've stopped because I can't do it. It's not going to happen if I do it on my own strength. And so I've just been able to really be connected to God in that way, in which, while I don't know my future, I know who is in charge of my future and who has already orchestrated it. And I've been able to just trust Him all the more. And I will just say that. So this time has been great. When I tell y'all, we have some really great episodes coming out. I'm so excited about just the new things that we're going to be talking about. It's going to be obviously same concepts, same general ideas, but just, I think, new perspectives, new stories, because new things have happened, new reflections as I've reflected different parts of my life, different parts of who I am, different parts of just the journey of growing and all of these things. So I'm super excited just to continue to share with you all. And yeah, so that's kind of it for today. I'm super, super excited to have you guys back. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. That's it for this week. C's 2 cents. One thing, my mom's Instagram, on her therapy page, she posted this quote, and it has stuck with me so hard. And it says, it was something about like, talk yourself out of excuses and into execution. And I think that puts a very good title on this past season of my life, where it was, I can't just say that I trust God with the next steps if I'm not making no effort to take those next steps. And so I decided that I'm going to be executing, and I got in my bag and I executed. So I want the same for you. I want you to truly lean in, and I want you to execute those things that you keep making excuses for. Like, let's cut the excuses out. We're too grown for that. We're not doing that no more. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Time is wasting, and we ain't got all day. Okay? Well, that's it for this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning back in. This season is going to be great. If you like anything that you heard, please feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and put on the post notifications on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and follow us on Instagram at the Honesty Circle with the underscore at the end to stay updated on Circle News. Thanks again for listening, and go conquer your week.